MJ's the greatest, then everything after that, however you want to put it.
If LeBron is better than Steph Curry, we don't know that. It's too much delusion. Yo, we can't have top-tier people being delusional. We already got everybody delusional.
When rap legends and former NBA players go toe-to-toe in the GOAT debate, you know it is about to get heated. This is not your typical ESPN segment. This is street logic, basketball IQ, and raw emotion all colliding in a way only NBA Showdown knows how to bring to the screen. Jedakus speaks like a man who grew up in the Jordan era and refuses to let that legacy be erased. Jeff Teague stands bold in his conviction that LeBron James is the most complete player the game has ever seen. And then there is Fat Joe, emotional, animated, and explosive, ripping into every LeBron GOAT argument like a man on a mission to defend the essence of real greatness. This is not about stat sheets. This is not about who is more popular on social media. This is a war of mentality, of legacy, and of how greatness is measured when rings, fear, and dominance are placed above everything else. So buckle in, because we are going to break down every second of this wild conversation, one quote at a time. But before we do, if you're tired of weak takes, tired of watered-down comparisons, and you want the realest NBA debates, then hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and drop your GOAT in the comments below, because this debate, it is far from over. Let's get into it. Jedakus does not waste time trying to play nice. When asked where he stands in the GOAT debate, his response is clear, calm, and final. For him, Michael Jordan is the greatest, and everyone else comes after. There is no hesitation in his voice. There is no need for qualifiers. He does not try to justify it with advanced analytics or modern comparisons. He simply puts Jordan on top and leaves the rest of the pack to sort itself out. Whether you place Kobe above LeBron or LeBron above Kobe, it does not matter to him, because neither of them touched Jordan's greatness, and that speaks volumes. This is not a surface-level opinion. This is the voice of a man who saw Jordan dominate not just the game, but the culture. Jedakus grew up in the era where MJ was not just a basketball player. He was a global force. He was fear. He was clutch. He was elegance with an assassin's mindset. For Jedakus, Jordan's greatness was not about popularity or media hype. It was about the way he took over games when everything was on the line. The way no one, and he means no one, ever made winning look that inevitable. Jedakus comes from an era where players earned their names through battle, not branding. And that is why his opinion matters. Because in his eyes, Jordan's reign is not up for debate. Everyone else is just trying to reach a throne that was already cemented in gold and blood. And that is why when he says MJ is the greatest and everybody else is behind him, you listen. Because that is not just an opinion. That is gospel from someone who lived it.
MJ's the greatest, then everything after that, however you want to put it.
Jeff Teague delivers his take with calm confidence. He says LeBron James is the greatest of all time, better than Michael Jordan. And the reason is simple. LeBron has done everything, from leading bad teams to the finals, to breaking records year after year, to maintaining his dominance over a span of 2 decades. Teague sees a complete player who has rewritten the rulebook on what it means to be great. But before the sentence even finishes, Fat Joe jumps in and erupts. He tells Jeff flat out that he is delusional, and he does not say it as a joke. He is dead serious. To Fat Joe, this is not just another difference of opinion. This is sacrilege. This is the type of talk that threatens to erase everything Jordan stood for, and Fat Joe is not going to let that slide. His reaction is not just about stats or trophies. It is about what it means to be feared, what it means to dominate in an era where every game was a war. Joe sees LeBron as a marvel, a legend in his own right, but to call him the greatest? That is a line that cannot be crossed. The passion in his voice is not for clout, it is for truth. Because to Fat Joe, when you put LeBron above Jordan, you are not just ranking players, you are rewriting history, and that is something he refuses to allow. Teague might see LeBron as a modern marvel, but Fat Joe sees Jordan as the eternal standard, and he is not letting anyone rewrite that narrative without a fight.
I just think LeBron the greatest. He did everything.
I think you delusional.
Fat Joe goes deeper into his frustration and drops a warning. He is not just pushing back against Jeff Teague, he is pushing back against an entire generation of fans who, in his words, have become delusional. The tone is serious now. He says we already live in a basketball world where people have been brainwashed into thinking LeBron is the GOAT, and now even players like Teague are being pulled into this illusion, and that is dangerous, he says. That is how we lose our grip on reality. Joe is tired of the narrative being twisted. He is tired of recency bias erasing what was once undeniable. And what makes his argument powerful is that he is not denying LeBron's greatness. He is acknowledging it while firmly reminding us that there is levels to this. Greatness is not just about longevity or stats. It is about how a player made you feel. It is about whether or not that player owned the league in a way that could not be challenged. Fat Joe believes Jordan did that completely. There was no room for confusion, no cracks in the armor, no decade-long debates. Just a king on a throne who never lost when it counted. Joe is telling fans to stop confusing visibility with supremacy. Just because you see LeBron more does not mean he stands taller. And if you keep letting this narrative of delusion spread, we are going to raise an entire generation that forgets what undeniable dominance truly looked like.
It's too much delusion. Yo, we can't have top-tier people being delusional.
Nah,
We already got everybody delusional.
Fat Joe is not done. He takes it up another level. He declares that Michael Jordan should not even be compared to other NBA players anymore. He believes the competition for Jordan exists outside the sport, in names like Messi or Serena Williams. That is how far ahead Jordan is in Joe's mind. And that statement might sound wild at first, but when you break it down, you realize the level of reverence behind it. Joe is saying Jordan transcended basketball the same way Serena transcended tennis and Messi transcended football. He was not just the best in his league, he was the standard of global excellence. Fat Joe views Jordan as a cultural icon, a titan of dominance, who set the bar for what greatness should look like in any sport. To him, no one in the NBA has reached that bar since. Not Kobe, not LeBron, not even close. The very idea of comparing LeBron to Jordan is not just disrespectful, it is misinformed. Jordan belongs in a class where names are few, but legacies are eternal. And Fat Joe is making sure that everyone watching remembers that. Because once you remove Jordan from the basketball bubble and place him next to global icons, the argument changes. It is no longer about who scored more. It is about who defined greatness universally. And Fat Joe is here to remind you that when it comes to defining that standard, Jordan still stands alone.
At this point, we got to compare Jordan to like Messi or like Serena Williams.
Jeff Teague refuses to back down. Despite Fat Joe's fiery accusations of delusion, Teague stands firm and offers a deeper explanation. He tells the room and the world that LeBron James has been the greatest player in the game since the age of 16. Let that sink in. A teenager, still in high school, already being heralded as the best. Teague is not just speaking off vibes. He is drawing from the weight of expectation that has been on LeBron's shoulders since day one. Most players work their entire careers to be in the conversation for greatness. LeBron walked into the league with that label already stamped on his back. And what did he do? He delivered. For 20 years, he has been the face of the league, shouldering the burden of greatness while rarely falling short of it. Jeff sees that. He does not view greatness as just a flash of dominance. He sees it as sustained excellence over time. While Jordan had 2 three-peats and a perfect finals record, LeBron has shown a different kind of warpath, one that demanded consistency across eras, teammates, and evolving styles of play. Teague's view of greatness leans toward endurance and adaptation. He sees LeBron as a generational force who never stopped evolving and never stopped being him. While others crumbled under pressure, LeBron stayed relevant, dominant, and impactful through every shift in the game. From the moment he stepped onto the court, the bar was raised, and Teague believes that no one, not even Jordan, carried that level of expectation so early and sustained it for so long. This is not an emotional take for Teague. This is a calculated belief rooted in the sheer pressure LeBron absorbed and thrived under since before he could even legally vote. To him, greatness is not just about peak moments. It is about being the measuring stick for 2 decades. And in that metric, he crowns LeBron the king.
Nah, but think about it. Bron been the man since He's been the greatest player since he was 16.
Fat Joe lets the conversation simmer for a moment before dropping his next bombshell. He says it loud and he says it with heart. I love LeBron James, but he is not Michael Jordan. This is not just a statement. It is a line in the sand. Joe is making it clear that admiration does not equal coronation. He respects LeBron. He celebrates LeBron, but he will never elevate him above the man who wore 23rd first. Fat Joe is not here to tear LeBron down. He is here to defend Jordan's legacy from what he sees as misdirected admiration. Because in Joe's mind, the LeBron GOAT talk is not just wrong, it is dangerous. It erodes the legacy of someone who did things we might never see again. And Joe speaks with the fire of someone who lived through it. He watched Jordan destroy dynasties. He watched him win 6 rings without ever letting a series go to 7 games. He watched Jordan become a living symbol of winning and refused to share that spotlight with anyone. And while LeBron has his accolades, Joe refuses to let that erase what Jordan was. He says, you can love LeBron, you can call him a legend, but when it comes to that ultimate crown, the one reserved for the very best to ever do it, he believes Jordan still holds it without question. Joe's voice cracks not out of anger, but out of disbelief that this conversation even exists. In his eyes, this should not even be a debate. LeBron is incredible, but Jordan was divine. LeBron has moments, Jordan had eras, and Joe is here to make sure no one forgets that difference. So when he says he is not Michael Jordan, he is not hating, he is protecting the sacred.
I love LeBron James. I do believe he deserves all the glory. He is not Michael Jordan.
And then comes the dagger. Fat Joe, already on fire, takes the LeBron conversation to a place no one saw coming. He says, this is going to hurt y'all, but we do not even know if LeBron is better than Steph Curry. That is not just a hot take. That is an explosion. He flips the entire debate on its head. Forget Jordan. Forget Kobe. Joe is now questioning whether LeBron has even surpassed his own contemporary. And he brings receipts with a simple yet brutal point. LeBron claims he does not chase rings, but Joe calls that bluff. Because every move LeBron has made in the past decade has been about stacking up rings. From Miami to Cleveland to Los Angeles, race. Every super team, every pairing, every trade request, it all pointed to one thing: the pursuit of championships. And who has disrupted that pursuit more than anyone? Steph Curry. While LeBron chased rings, Curry built a dynasty that repeatedly stood in his way. Joe sees this and asks the question no one else wants to entertain. How can we call LeBron the GOAT when he was often second to Steph in the battles that mattered most? Steph did not run. Steph built and conquered. And that comparison hurts because it hits at the core of legacy. Joe is not saying Steph is better, but he is saying the debate is closer than anyone wants to admit. And if we are struggling to decide who reigns between LeBron and Steph, how can we even begin to compare LeBron to Jordan? Joe leaves the debate scorched and smoking with that line. He did not just challenge the GOAT conversation, he shattered its foundations. And in doing so, he forced fans to rethink everything they thought they knew about LeBron's place in history.
If LeBron is better than Steph Curry, we don't know that.
When it is all said and done, this is not just another episode of fans arguing on Twitter. This was warfare. Jedakus brought the calm but firm declaration of a man who has seen greatness and refuses to let it be revised. Jeff Teague came in with the modern lens, pushing LeBron's case with respect and conviction. But Fat Joe, he brought the flamethrower. He did not come to debate. He came to remind people that you cannot rewrite history because it makes you uncomfortable. Jordan's greatness is not just built on rings and points. It is built on fear, dominance, and a mindset that crushed the soul of any man who dared challenge it. LeBron is many things: a hero, a leader, an icon. But in Fat Joe's world, he is still not the king. And when Fat Joe says you might need to ask whether LeBron is even better than Steph before crowning him over Jordan, it forces everyone to look in the mirror. Maybe the real delusion is thinking this debate ever existed in the first place. If you are tired of the same soft takes and you want more of this real, no-filter basketball heat, then subscribe to NBA Showdown right now. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your GOAT, and share this video with someone who needs to be reminded what greatness actually looks like. Jordan or LeBron? The debate might never end, but over here, the truth always rises.